all that I need.
Sorry. Hello, Simon. Thank you so much for coming on to UFOs Around the World's channel.
It's an honor, Matt. Thank you for having me in my humble abode here in France. And we live in interesting times. What an amazing week to talk about UFOs, UAP, the phenomenon, and science. So yeah, good. I'm all up for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we've got so many good stories to talk about today. So yeah, let's. What kind of things would you like to discuss?
I would like to start off with Beatriz Villarroel
Beatriz.
and her recent findings. I think you might have some information on that where you can dumb it down nice and easily for me and my followers to understand it much better.
Well, first of all, Beatriz is an absolutely wonderful person. She's an astrophysicist, originally from Spain, and for a number of years she's been running this project called VASCO, which is search for vanishing objects. And what Beatriz is absolutely brilliant at doing is looking at pre 1957 pre Sputnik stuff. And Beatrice is hey, Mark, nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you, Simon.
Yeah,
Apologies for
we were just beginning to talk about Vasco and Beatrice.
right. Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that a
it.
brilliant story?
It
Don't we?
is.
We live in a really interesting time this week. So,
Yeah,
I'm just going to prattle on for a bit. Matt's
yeah, yeah.
just asked me about. So
Please.
I met Beatrice
Mm,
online, of course,
mm,
and she's wonderful a couple of years ago. And so, what the Vasco project
mm.
is that before Sputnik, October 1957, the first man-made object that orbited in space. A lot of people have been, I've just done a film, a lot of people have been saying, oh, there were things before that. Well, yeah, there were. I mean, actually, there was. In World War II, V2 rockets were actually the first ballistic missile, but they went up and they came down, probably in Chiswick. But the first thing that actually was in orbit, which is a brilliant thing, was very much Sputnik 1, which is a fantastic coup for the Soviet Union at the time. So before that, for millions of years, humans have seen space without any man-made objects. And in the early 50s, the Navy, and you really need to clear this up because people have got some miscomprehensions about this. The US Navy wanted to do a sky survey because ICBMs, Minuteman missiles, use cameras to navigate using the stars. So they needed a very accurate survey of the night sky, and that was kept. Now, a lot of people are saying that Beatrice's survey was some stuff from, I think, Harvard that was thrown away. That
Right.
is true. There was a wacky guy who, for some reason, didn't want to keep the Sky Survey from later on in the 50s, but that's not, and that is tragic. I know people, historians at the Lick Observatory.
Mm.
Tony Mish, a good friend of mine. I mean, he keeps everything. I mean, and because you never know by deep diving into ancient stuff, and that's what Beatrice done. So by having the pre-Sputnik stuff and
Mm.
comparing it with very high quality scan surveys of today, and flashing the two. Sorry, I'm looking at my microphone. Flashing the two. Comparing the two, she's found a whole bunch of mysterious vanishing stars, and that's where I interviewed her, and she brilliantly said, wouldn't it be amazing if the vanishing stars, whatever they were maybe an extraterrestrial technological signature?
Mm.
And at the time I interviewed her, she didn't know. But well done, everybody. You're still alive this week because Beatrice has come back and using more data from the Vanishing Stars Vasco project, she now thinks because she's interested in time.
Mm.
And how things move in time. She thinks that some of these things that disappear aren't stars, but they're objects which are orbiting and are rotating and are twinkling as they glint in the sun. Hang on a minute. That means they're in our. Yeah, really. She
Mm.
thinks that one answer is that they're in our solar system and there's a network of them. Now, are they still here? That's what everybody's asking me. I don't know. I mean, I know people at Pan-STARRS and Atlas who look for asteroids, so they would see them. So I guess not. But I mean, certainly what she's saying now is that she doesn't think they're deep space astronomical stars, because it didn't make any sense. A star doesn't kind of in our lifetime disappear. I mean, occasionally they supernova and fade out, but they take a long time. So she's thinking this week, in a very good paper, which I now have read after I did my film, and I'll do a follow-up, is that they're twinkly objects in our solar system. Whose are they? What are they doing? Why are they looking at us? Yeah, Mark.
But they're definitely not natural.
They're not natural. Yeah, no, no. Yeah, well done, Beatriz. So she's an astrophysicist in Stockholm, originally Spanish, and the Vasco project she's done for years. At one time, you could help and look at the images. I think she's now getting results. So great. It's certainly taking the cat out of the bag, hasn't it?
Yeah, and this is what we need. Like, I've got a question here for you. So, in your view, should the scientific community re-examine these archival anomalies more thoroughly, or remain cautious unless follow-up observations confirm them?
Oh, no. Well, jump right in, everybody. I mean, sure. You need to look at them sensibly, but no, the historical archive, I don't think anybody looked at it. It was absolutely brilliant. Beatriz to say, why would you think in a very stable universe the night sky doesn't change at all, really? I mean, there's obviously things in orbit and asteroids and things, but the deep space objects hardly move in our human lifetime. Why would you compare it? And when she did, she found anomalies. Great.
Sure. And what about NASA? Do you think NASA knows or would want to get involved? Or
I think NASA are useless. I think that. I mean, honestly, I even got NASA. I love NASA. I mean, I grew up as a child with NASA, but I don't think they're the right people to do it. The right people to do it are the astronomical community. And the one thing, Mark and Matt, about astronomy is that they're very generous at sharing stuff. I mean, when somebody spots a weird thing in Albuquerque, they tell people in Adelaide. It's a very good, unlike biology that tends to be, it's my pharmaceutical company. Astronomers share stuff. So no, I think telescopes need to look at it. Although I think there's going to be an issue, because the astronomers I know all use a great word. They'll say bollocks. They won't believe it. They'll need persuading by Beatriz that this is good science, and then maybe they will. I think they're very narrow focused. So, and they don't like flying saucers. So I don't know.
So, Simon, sorry, what's the timescale for these to be fully peer reviewed? So then we can actually say, right, okay, there is something there.
I had to subscribe to some really expensive thing to read her report. So I assume it is peer reviewed. It was in the scientific journal that you have to join to read it. So I think it's now just needs to get out there. I don't really know. I mean, it's published, and she seems to have very good, strong evidence. It could still just be a theory, but she wouldn't have published it without. She claims, she's saying that she has this time-based factor, that these things are that they correlate to them glinting from the sun, so you can work out where they are in our solar system.
That's right, yeah.
Wow. Great.
can we speculate on what they might actually be and who's controlling them?
Well, yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Any ideas?
I don't know. I mean, no, who knows? I mean, I think that we are mildly interesting as a species. I think that there's no real information who would be interested in us, but it makes kind of sense that humans have had weird sightings for millennia, and maybe we're long-term being monitored. And it would also make sense to me, much more than things in our atmosphere, hovering around. I don't like those particularly. That something would be orbiting the sun or on the moon or in the rings of Saturn or in our solar system doing a kind of survey. And I think, Matt, as you said, right now we're in this kind of very interesting time in human history when we're starting to understand um, obviously quantum physics, and also getting into consciousness research, and also looking at gravity and interstellar travel. Maybe those are the keys. And also, for years, I'm sure you want to talk about this in relation to Suffolk and Orford Ness and Rendlesham. Is nuclear power?
Yeah.
There seems to be a correlation between sightings, UAP specifically, more than physical objects, and nuclear. Yeah, I mean, Mark, have have you had reports in the Suffolk area? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
of things being seen?
Yeah, I
Sure,
mean,
of course.
when we made our Rendlesham film, we
Yeah,
weren't just concerned with the 1980 sighting. Everyone knows that story. And obviously, there were nuclear weapons there in
right.
1980. I know you got theories about what it was, but the
No,
background is there were a lot of sightings in that area from
no.
the 50s onwards. I mean, is that linked to the Air Force bases that are in Norfolk and Suffolk? They've always been there.
Right.
Or is it something else? That's the question. A lot of them seem to be coming off the sea.
Yeah,
Just,
and it's not only. I mean, I did a story up at Chapel Cross, which was the tritium plant on the Solway Firth, and somebody saw something really strange over the plant. And at the time, if you read the Condan report, the MOD report into which kind of basically closed the UFO desk in London that Nick Pope was there for a short time. And their summary was, well, nuclear sites are often highly policed and monitored, and there would be people at 3 o'clock in the morning looking up at the sky, and there's a no-fly zone. So yeah, sure, statistically they would see it, and what they said was hilarious. Or maybe I'm adding this. They would see it more than a UFO flying over McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken at 3 o'clock in the morning, because there's more people. It's open, and there's more people going, "What's that?" So,
yeah.
but excuse me, but I think as I've looked into
Yeah.
Orford Ness,
Yeah.
Sizewell, and non-nuclear MP and stuff, and also learning a bit more what was actually at Woodbridge, not Bentwaters. I think there's a lot of, and other cases, like the Maelstrom case.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I think there is something more to it. And then even this Chapel Cross case. Yeah, I don't know why they would be attracted, but maybe meddling with the atom is a signature of a civilization up to something probably not good. I don't know.
I mean, what do you think about the theory that, someone's manipulated with our DNA way back, and is
Oh,
effectively coming back to see what's going on, really? What do you think to
oh
that theory?
oh God, that's a minefield of a theory. Um, oh, there's a story about that I am actually scared to tell.
Okay.
Tell us, Simon. Tell us,
Tell us.
Simon.
No, I'm not. I won't. But I'll tell you enough to
Okay. Yeah.
get you really scared.
Okay.
A very senior family, well, I'm going to have to say, who are involved in British nuclear. Oh God, don't say that, Simon. Who are involved in British nuclear stuff, told me deeply meaningful, in a kind of a eyes wide shut Stanley Kubrick way, that they and their cronies who come from a similar background all think that we're DNA manipulated from aliens. And that is a super strong belief or knowledge or information that they kind of share. And I don't want to go there because I know who these people are, and they're incredibly dangerous, in my opinion, and probably pretty wacky.
Is
And
is that really scary though, if we're manipulating our DNAs thing? I think that anyway. I think we've been tampered with, and I think we're a product of potentially an alien species. Or
what?
do you
I
know
mean,
something else that potentially
I'm
was?
definitely crawled out of the ocean as a slime bug. I don't know.
Ah, okay, 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 yeah.
No, I don't know. No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think I think the evolution. I've just had
Mhm.
one of the most fascinating people staying in our house as people come and stay with me. I just had he used to produce The Sky at Night, and he's a really great TV science producer. And we were talking about we're talking about evolution. And one of the things that I didn't know, and he's much smarter than me, is that that life
Mhm.
evolved and emerged on our planet really quickly and suddenly
Mhm.
and in a very direct way, and there was no mistakes. I mean, there was obviously, evolution, because we have evolution today, we're all evolving. But why did life emerge? Why?
Panspermia, is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah,
Panspermia.
I think there's mysteries involved in that.
Mm.
And I think science is, I mean, it's a general topic. I think I think a lot of people just now are very frustrated with science, established science, because they tend to stick to their paradigms and their norms. And I think there's some big questions that do need asking. Where did we all come from?
So
Yeah.
would that scare you to find out that we are not, as you said, come out the water and stuff like that, and we have actually been manipulated and stuff?
Oh
Does
yeah,
that
yeah.
terrify you?
No, to answer your question, not at all. I love it. That would be absolutely fantastic. No, I'm scared of the people who believe in it. I'm scared of the family
Oh, okay.
with the red hoodie who live in a large house in Eyes Wide Shut.
All right.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm
Like
with you,
this
Simon. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Illuminati vibes. I mean, Stanley Kubrick, that film that he
yeah,
made,
yeah.
How
was it
did you? I was going to say, how
Warner?
did you get speaking
Warner,
to them?
sorry.
Oh, I can't say. It was a bizarre connection, and they seemed very open to tell me tons of stuff.
Mm.
Uh, but I also happen to know Stanley Kubrick's cameraman, and he said the base. I used to work with him. He was a freelance cameraman. I worked a lot on very high end stuff on drama at the BBC, and he got this job for 4 years with Stanley Kubrick, and we used to drink and in the bar, and when the film came out, I said, "Wow, it looks amazing. Your work is incredible." He said, "It's not in the film." I said,
Wow.
"How do you mean?" He said, "Well, I was in New York the entire time, and I shot for 4 years, and none of it's in the film. All they put in the film was Nicole Kidman
Mm.
and what's his name, and the studio just cobbled together a bizarre non-story stuff. That's not what the film was about," he said. So, and I've tried to speak to the original film editor well, I don't know who the original film editor was, but I've tried to speak through the Hollywood agent to
Mm.
the studio film editor as editor. I'm a film editor, editor to editor, um, to ask him what was the original film like and what did you do with the studio. And I got into his agent
Mm.
basically told me to bugger off. I mean, he never got in touch with me, and I know who he is quite well. So I don't know. I think there's more to that film than meets the eye.
I think so. It was his lifelong passion was to do this film,
Sure.
and it wasn't what was released was not his vision, what the
Not
story
at
he
all.
wanted to tell. I know that. I mean, he lives. Well, he used to live near me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
he lives near you. Absolutely.
So, and Matt, my cameraman and
Yeah.
co-director on this film, uh, basically has got some of Kubrick's lenses. He's quite
Oh,
close
the
to
lenses.
the
Yeah.
lenses. He's quite close to the family and did a lot of work for them. So, yeah,
Oh, the
interesting.
lens story is just the best. Yeah. Matt, when and Kubrick would get lenses specially made by
Mm.
leading lens manufacturers like Leica or whoever, cinema lenses really made for him, and he would say, "Make me 4 or 5," and then he would pick them up one at a time and go, "No, rubbish. I'll have I'll
Yeah.
I'll have this one." And then he wasn't his the camera assistant wasn't allowed to change the lens, which is the normal thing on a shoot. Only one person could handle the lens, which he specifically chose. No, he's a complete pain in the arse to work with. I got a good friend who was fired by Stanley Kubrick. He was a projectionist at Elstree, and Kubrick would come in and view every cinema release print. It must have been, I think, of Barry Lyndon, and would just come in with a coffee and sit in the preview theater and go run it. And my mate was a projectionist; he would run the film. And one day, Kubrick came back to the projection booth and said, "What's that?" And my mate went, "Well, it's just some spacer." He said, "That's my film. You're using my film as spacer." And he went, "Well, yeah, it was one that you said wasn't good enough for a projection." He said, "No, it needed to be destroyed. You're fired." And he did. He was. He was. He's really furious about that.
Simon, I want your opinion on this.
Yeah.
It is the Avi Loeb's 31 Atlas and his
Oh
recent
yeah, yeah,
paper.
yeah. And Mark as well. I mean, yeah, and all three of us.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, no, it. Well, first of all, it's called Atlas because it was found by my mates, Atlas. So the Atlas is the Asteroid Last Impact Survey. It's from the University of Hawaii, and I did a number of films with them. And John and Larry found Atlas. So they have a wide field camera, two in Hawaii, one in Chile, and one now in South Africa. And they take 4 pictures every night of the whole night sky with this wide field camera. And in the morning, Larry, he's the software engineer and scientist, comes in and parses out everything that doesn't move or change in brightness and finds anything that's moving. And in 4 pictures, he calls it, I play join the dots, dot to dot. So anything that's moving, he can, from 4 images, work out an orbit. Uh, what happens next is the best bit. It's secret. So I said, and then he says, "Oh, then we send it to the Minor Planet Society, and they compare what we found with known asteroids, and then take out those, and any new ones are called something something Atlas, and that's what this one was." I said, "What's the secret bit?" He said, "Well, we don't send it to the Minor Planet Society. We send it to Space Command because they have to look at it first." I went, "Oh, okay, because we see things that they don't want to go to the Minor Planet Society because that's open source." I went, "Okay, all right." It goes to Colorado somewhere, and
Sorry. So it gets vetted first before it goes elsewhere.
yeah, there's things in orbit that they don't want to be mistaken, and they don't want it to be published.
This is what worries me when people say they find something, they
Right.
they give it up to the higher people, and then they get a feedback a couple of weeks later saying, "No, it's nothing." Could
Oh
they have
yeah,
then been lied to?
they could easily take out the data. I mean, it could be it could be a UFO. It could be an alien craft. It could be something not military technology.
Mm.
But you're right, they go through it. I don't know if they really do that, but they definitely go through it before some of the results are then passed on to open source Minor Planets, who are the people who log asteroids and give it a point out of 10 if it's trivial or non-trivial. But anyway, I just thought you'd be interested in that. Atlas found this
Mm.
object, which is like a Oumuamua, which was found by the people down the corridor called Pan-STARRS, who also know. It's an interstellar object. It came from outside our solar system and it's heading towards the sun. And we don't know what it is. I don't know. But
But Avi Loeb suggested to
yeah,
me that its trajectory is quite rare. There's
it is.
20 to 1 chance of having this naturally, which
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's not natural, but there's a
Yeah.
slight possibility, and we must be prepared somehow to deal with these objects coming in, because one
Yeah.
day it could be a craft.
Yeah, and that's what people have been talking about certainly in our community that its closest to Earth is going to be in 2027. Isn't that right? I mean, I thought it'd be here like next week, so I'm confused. I haven't really looked at
I think it's October 29th is when it's going to.
this this year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this
Oh,
year, November this year, it says.
Yeah.
okay. Oh, it's my family member's birthday. Good. I won't need to send her a birthday card.
Because he's saying, basically, you might want to sell all your stocks and shares because there could be a stock market crash come October 29.
Oh, Okay, well, as I don't have any, that'll be fantastic. Good. All right.
This is a follow-up question I need to ask you because they've asked me to ask you this one, Simon.
Oh yeah.
So with Avi Loeb and this free 31 Atlas or Free Eye Atlas, whatever it's called,
Uh,
could this be the beginning of Project Bluebeam? And with what Jeremy Corbell said not long ago in his documentary, where it said they are going to say that a craft is making its way to Earth,
sure.
could this be what we're seeing?
That whole story is fantastically interesting.
Mm.
So, Mark, do you? I was going to say it came from the almost the deathbed of Werner von Braun. Is that what?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So Werner von Braun's assistant,
Mm.
Werner brought him over and whispered, "The next invasion will be fake, and we'll be told it's an alien invasion."
That's
Isn't
right, yeah.
that the story? Yeah.
It is, yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I don't know what he was implying by that, and obviously he would know a lot more than we do, but I don't know. Yeah.
This is a question then for you because you're in this field. How could they hide this or get people on board to play out this lie with all these brilliant scientists, astrophysicists watching the sky? How could they pull it off without these people noticing that it's a
Well,
lie?
that it's a giant DEFCON transporter from the planet Zog with yeah yeah and we also remember that we don't only have telescopes.
Mm.
A lot of these asteroids are found by very deep space radar systems, and they can do actually image an object in our solar system.
Mm.
And this is often one of the reasons that I think it's unlikely that a UFO is going to come into our solar system, orbit Earth, and then descend into Suffolk or wherever. I think we would meet them
Mm.
because we would know they were coming.
Mm.
But no, Matt, they're definitely should by now, as it's in our solar system, have really good information. Although Avi's kind of also, and other people are saying that it could be a comet type body and it's surrounded by dust, and
Mm.
that could be hiding something, or oh, we don't know. And we haven't really, have we got, do we know the shape of it yet? I mean, Oumuamua was long and thin and tumbling.
I think it's long, yeah, long and thin.
It's big as well.
Big, yeah, it's
Yeah,
bigger
it's
than the dog. Yeah.
7 miles in diameter, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Or seven. I think it's yeah. That's right. I read that. 7,000 feet. It's 7 kilometers. Right. Right. Exactly. Right. So yes.
Would you say Avi Loeb's pushing science forward or pushing the boundaries of what
Oh
science
no,
is
he's
saying
great.
without evidence? Do you think he's
No, no,
I
no,
think he's brilliant.
no.
Mm.
He's absolutely brilliant. He's asking all the right questions. I mean, and I mean, I really hate the word disclosure. I really like the word confirmation. And I think Avi's doing science confirmation. I mean, I think his network that he's got funded to actually look for UAP on the roof of Harvard or wherever, and he's going to build other ones, is what we actually need. And you know, my favorite Avi Loeb quote is, you know, if you showed a caveman an iPhone, they would look at it and go, shiny rock? You know, that would, and when we see Oumuamua or this new Atlas thing, we go, dusty rock? You know, because because maybe it's millions of years ahead. I mean, cavemen wouldn't know what an iPhone was, you know, or how it worked, and yeah. So yeah, no, it's quite possible that an advanced civilization aren't like us and have weird stuff. So yeah.
Do you know much about other countries and how they work together and whether they hide stuff from each other due to competition and stuff like that? Are they holding each other back?
Um, I think I think the science community is quite good at sharing. I had a real run-in with SETI and a big organization called Breakthrough Listen over my big mouth being told by a Dutch, very, very big worldwide company called Astron, who do all the radio telescope stuff on looking for technological signatures, that they'd found one. And I was incredibly surprised by that is how close SETI and Beatrizx were and how they locked the whole thing down. So I would have thought they would be going, oh, well, we weren't quite ready, Simon, but yeah, it's a good signal. But no, they were going, no, it's not a signal. And you're talking
I
shite.
don't think I helped with that matter because I covered that on my TikTok and it got over
Yeah.
2 million views and went
Yeah,
absolutely
me
insane.
too.
It was you.
Me too as well. I did it
It
as
went
well.
absolutely insane, honestly, the views on it, and I'm like, oh my God. That's why I'm so I apologize. Like for so like
I
I
didn't
covered
see
it.
it.
I just covered what you said. I just covered what you said.
Thank you.
Um,
No, it's a good. It has a good history. It is a good technological signature. And then since then, the Cambridge study with the James Webb Space Telescope looking at a spectral analysis of an atmosphere of an exoplanet. My God, that is an amazing piece of work in finding dimethyl sulfate or whatever they found. I'm making that up. Is a great biological signature. We will look back at 2025 and say, oh, well, this decade definitely, and say this is when we first had signs, a bit like Beatriz looking back in the 50s, and now looking at the information in a new way. We've found that we're not alone in the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Mark my words.
All right. Can I just ask a question regarding you saying about it's unlikely that UFOs are going to travel through our solar system and then, orbit and then land. Okay.
Yeah.
So all the sightings that people are seeing on Earth at the moment, are they our craft that we've built, or are there alien craft on Earth? Simple.
I don't really, I don't, as soon as it's, physics is so, the universe is so big for a start.
Yeah.
Time is so massive. The idea and the lifetime of even an alien is never going to, if you just, we don't know where they're coming from. If you just say statistically they're coming from the center of our local galaxy, just down the road, F me. I mean, you're talking even at near light speed, and we can't go faster than light with a solid object. You're talking thousands of years. Imagine, oh, I'm going to go to Earth. Oh, we'll see you. Oh, I won't be back for 2,000 years. I mean, I think that is a clue. I think we would see them, but UAP are real. UAP, and I think they are highly strange. I think they are non-human intelligence. I don't think they're solid. I think they exist in a multi-dimensional way, and I think that's why we should all be interested in consciousness because as we start understanding what is badly called the quantum universe, which is a universe where everything is interconnected, totally interconnected, and you have no space or time. You can travel anywhere instantly, and we see things. I'm much more open to the possibility that UAP are visitors of non-human intelligence. But as soon as it's an aluminum flying saucer in a field in Wisconsin, I'm kind of going, or even an orb flying over New Jersey, I'm much more inclined to think it's ours. Possibly it's ours using interesting
Mm.
captured technology, because some of the characteristics are weird. But that's just my personal view. But the UAP, the phenomenon, I think is something very different. I mean, Rendlesham.
Mm.
Yeah, phenomenon. Probably not a triangular UFO, but that's controversial.
Yeah, I think the whole story of Rendlesham, we've been lied to. I think the witnesses, I think they was
Oh yeah,
potentially given some sort of chemicals, which Mark will know about,
Yeah.
and they have a false memory, and we've been totally lied about. And I don't think we actually know what went on there. I think the whole story was lied to us basically, and I think we're going to learn a hell of a lot more, and hopefully films like Mark's. And you mentioned one just before we started the recording about
Mark, have you seen Capel Green?
Not yet. This is the Dion and Larry Warren film. Have you seen it?
No, I didn't. I didn't manage to get to the one showing in Stowmarket. Come on, Capel Green, we need to see it online, or I'll pay for
No,
it.
absolutely. I want to because it's a obviously a fascinating story. But
I mean, I worry about it deeply, but I'd also like to say, Capel Green people,
Mhm.
is that from the trailer and also knowing Laurie Reinfeldt, one of the witnesses from pre-Rendlesham,
Mhm.
and she's talked to me a lot about it, is it looks amazing. And I think the way that you've visualized very subjective, personal, what witnesses might have seen. I'm choosing my words very carefully. I think what I've seen of the trailer and clips of making the phenomenon or whatever it is that they saw visual with drama and CGI and things looks great,
Mhm.
but my enormous but does it address what actually happened? What actually does it actually look at? I mean, at Suffolk. I mean, in my humble opinion, and it's not very humble, you can't make a film about Rendlesham unless you go from my office and off and answer and come back with an answer to these two simple questions: Why Rendlesham Forest? What's special about Rendlesham? Go away and look at the surrounding area, and why December 1980, and also why is it bigger than December 1980? Why 1980?
Cold War.
Cold
Cold,
War.
Cold War.
Britain, John Knott, Margaret Thatcher, emerging strategic defence initiative, Orford Ness, Bawdsey, Martlesham.
Some Heath, yeah.
I
'Cause
mean, you can't just say it was a triangular craft without understanding why Rendlesham, a piece of scrubby forestry commission woodland
mm,
between two US NATO bases on British soil. I mean, don't ignore that. Visualize what they saw. That's great, but you're gonna have to look at the big picture. I don't know if the film does it. I don't know. Not
Did,
seen it.
didn't they have nuclear weapons out in Rendlesham?
mhm.
Yeah,
So could that not
definitely.
be the big thing? I think there seems to be an interest in nuclear weapons, and
Oh,
it's
it's
happening.
bigger
We
than
only had
you.
one in Japan, I think, 3 days ago. Some
Yeah.
rumors that there was UFOs around the Japan nuclear. They
Sure.
seem to have an interest, right?
Mm.
I don't know. What do you think of this? What I was told, Mark, this is quite an inside piece of information, is Bentwaters had tactical nuclear weapons in the weapons store.
Mhm.
They were air to air, air to ground, to be used in a possible Soviet invasion of Europe,
Mm.
and they were to be tactical, meaning that it could be used, but they weren't country killers. They weren't hydrogen bombs,
Mm.
but the hydrogen bombs were there. The hydrogen bombs were in Woodbridge,
Wow.
because Woodbridge is a forward nuclear base, was a forward nuclear base. And the concept of forward nuclear bases, and I might be wrong, but this is what I'm told, is that if the United States get taken out in a surprise attack,
Mm.
they can call on Britain, Netherlands, and Italy, and maybe Turkey, I hear, to have hydrogen bombs, which can then, under dual key, Britain and the US. And so Britain didn't have to tell British people about it. It was totally secret, and they were at Woodbridge. Massive amounts. What, have you heard anything like that?
I haven't. No, that's the first time I've heard that. That's
When
amazing.
I raised it with the Bentwaters historian who's there at Bentwaters, he went, bollocks. But when I raised it with John Burroughs, he said, well, why do you think at Woodbridge they have triple bobbed wirewood dogs? I went, well, yeah, it's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
say here that they'll never officially confirmed that they had
No.
nuclear weapons at
They're not allowed
Bentwaters
to.
underground bunkers.
Thatcher and the previous governments never wanted British public to know that stored away. They were never to be used. They were a backup plan.
Mm.
The concept. They're now in Colport in Scotland, quite near near yeah, what was Holyloch, in a mountain between there, in the British store. But at one time they were in Woodbridge. I hear, might be wrong. So yeah, there's a nuclear connection, but Mark will know this, and I'll bring Matt and your viewers up to speed with me. What I'm saying is
I just
that,
need to give a bit of background. I've researched this for 27 years. I'm like, I've done,
oh shit,
I'm
I'm
older than
really
what I look, by
sorry.
the way. I'm older than what I look.
Oh, oh God, you're older than me. That's good.
No, no. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Is that Colonel Charles Hall and witnesses definitely confirm that there was a pre-planned mission of an exercise that was going to be taking place, and runway extensions, hard standing points for C5s were built. That was authorized. Concrete was poured. I have a mechanic who knows what happened. He saw people. It was definitely It was more than caught with your pants down with a flying saucer hovering over Rendlesham Forest that came out of the sky. They were up to something. Now, John Burroughs is very interesting. He was there. He was one of the major witnesses. He also kind of agrees with that and knows that there was something already up. And he thinks that what they were doing unleashed something unworldly. And I think that's, but they were definitely messing with a whole bunch of British family jewels that the new Thatcher regime and her Defense Secretary John Knott and Nick Pope and his family, I shouldn't have said that, know about. They were trying to sell non-nuclear EMP and other stuff, and it needed testing. Let's test it in Suffolk, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, no, I think you're onto it.
I think something went horribly wrong, and I think people were injured. And I think Charles Holt is the key to understanding it. Why he knows and why he doesn't know is one day I'll have to interview him. I'd love to, but
trying to get him over actually. So I'll let you know.
Who's that?
Charles Holt, the
Deputy Base Commander. I mean, his recording and his tape, as you well know, Matt, is fantastic. I mean, he's genuinely scared. It implies that he really, really didn't know what was going on, and I think that's possible.
Isn't this the guy that's actually got compensation?
No, this is the Deputy Base Commander, Hall, who went out on so-called Night 3, but I don't like these 3 nights.
Who's the person that got compensation for his injuries?
Well, a number of them have, but the main person who got compensation I know is John Burroughs, after 15 years of them denying he was even in the Air Force. And it was only through Senator John McCain's office, and it was very much through David Clark getting the Condon report released that hit the lawyers in the United States used the Condon report that talks about U.S. Air Force personnel being injured at Bentwaters. So the DOD, Department of Defense, and the Pentagon couldn't deny John Burroughs' claim through the VA, and that was what unlocked it. Which was brilliant. But between you and me, there was a number of people injured, and there's 1 or 2 other people that you know who have had compensation for injury in service.
Yeah, I've heard that.
John doesn't want to talk about their names, but we know who they are. Yeah.
Sure. And what do you think about the weirdest aspect of the witness testimony to this is Jim Penniston and him claiming to have some sort of binary download? Has he just made that up, or has he, like Matt alluded to, has it been?
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's hard because he seems like such a nice guy, and I think one of the most interesting things, and Matt touched on this, is that there is no consensus of what happened. People standing right next to a phenomenon or a triangular craft or whatever they witnessed all have different views. But that's very interesting because actually one of the effects of high exposure to that type of highly strange anomaly is it affects you personally differently, your perception. So I don't openly criticize Jim Penniston that he thinks he saw more of a solid thing than the person standing right next to him, John Burroughs. But what worries me is the way that the binary code came out so late.
Yeah.
Nobody knew about it. And then, of course, the inconsistencies of the code itself. You know, 1980 ASCII code hadn't been written, I don't believe. And the whole thing about, you know, the coordinates, and Jim Penniston didn't realize this is hilarious. I'm sorry, Jim, if I've got this wrong, but what I heard is you didn't realize that Suffolk was actually east of Greenwich. You know, and, you know, Mark, you would know. I mean, it's quite, I mean, yeah, part of Britain is east of Greenwich, Suffolk, you know, and somebody who spent their entire life in the Midwest and everything is to the west, the
Mhm.
coordinates don't make any effing sense because they're from somebody from Illinois. I mean, yeah. I think and then also Matt talked about this. I think they were effed over by an OSI team,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
and the way that they were debriefed is horrible.
Mm.
Horrible. Adrian Brachenda's story of being told, bullets are cheap, and it's really messed Adrian up. John was got at, but seems to have been survived that, in some ways, Jim's story is the most bizarre. I don't really like
But
it.
I just add something regarding the binary code. I know you've seen an early cut of my film, but more stuff happened once we got home, and I've added it to the new cut of
Oh,
it.
okay, all right. No,
And
no.
one of the weird things is
Yeah,
that,
good.
the binary code. When I got back that night, I
Yeah.
haven't told anyone this before. I just saw ones and zeros everywhere. It was really weird. I mean,
Oh,
I have to interpret that maybe there's a psychological, because I knew about Jim Penniston, maybe
Jim.
that's leading into it. But I've been Rendlesham, and it kind of affected
Sure.
me. But it was really weird. And then we had a UAP sighting over my house, and
Wow.
it's all in the film. Uh,
Oh,
and
great.
so
Right.
it was like something, I don't know. But you alluded to a portal being open. Whatever they were testing, this EMP, it may have opened some portal to other dimensions. So maybe the phenomena
Or
is,
it was attracted to those kind of energies that we were.
because that's what interested me, was not
Yeah.
doing the 1980 story, but then I spoke to people who've been back to Rendlesham since,
Yeah.
had weird
It's
experiences.
still there.
Yeah, and Major Laurie Rayfeld, she had weird experiences before December 1980,
Oh,
as you know.
and Suffolk has been a weird
Yeah,
county
yeah.
for hundreds of years.
So
So, and I mean, was it just a coincidence that, I mean, Orford Ness was very carefully chosen as a physics weaponization of physics site for lots of years. All the people who used Orford Ness, and lots of things went on there. And certainly, I'm hearing that Cobra Mist. Every time they tested it, and it's looking much more likely that it was not a radar, it was something else.
yeah.
Probably multiple things, but mainly possibly a non-nuclear EMP, which they're very interested in. And as Jesse Michaels revealed in his show, is that when they did nuclear EMP tested, it attracted UFOs. He's got
Yep.
footage of one and a witness, and there's stories of sightings over Orford, over Sizewell, and over Suffolk. And I know lots of things that Cobra Mist did that they were pretty worried about. There's I can't even share memos that I've seen, MOD stuff and British and MPs in Suffolk who were worried about what was actually going on at Cobra Mist. So
Wow.
yeah.
What do you think about ley lines? Because it's full of ley lines apparently around the area as well. Could that
Sure.
be a
I think
connection
it's
to it?
connected. I mean,
Mm.
I don't know what a ley line. I mean, ley lines are a natural phenomenon, a force of nature. But Suffolk seems special. The way I mean, I kind of fudge it in films. Mark, what you, what do you? I say in a thin portal and things like that. It's a special place. I don't know. It's hard because you start getting people talking about it, and they immediately go into rather woo-woo stuff. But I think Suffolk is special. There's something really weird about that. I mean, you
We get a lot of
experienced
crop
it.
circles down there as well.
Sure, sure. I mean, they're somehow all connected.
Yeah, there's talks of cryptids like the black shuck, the Rendlesham shrub
Yeah,
monkey, the
yeah,
will-o'-the-wisps, the lantern men from the fens.
good.
There's loads of mythology in that area, and I think
Yeah,
myths do have can have some
they do.
truths to them.
I mean, of course, we even have, Sutton Hoo. I mean, that was carefully chosen. It's a
Very
very
close
strange.
by. You don't realize how close it
Oh
is.
no, it's really
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
And then Laurie saw, kind of large mantis creatures and things like that. And you've seen stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's really an interesting area. Maybe not on my holiday list for camping.
It's on mine. It's
Oh, okay, all
absolutely
right.
on mine.
Bring a
I'm going.
camera,
I'm,
Matt. film stuff like Mark.
100%. I'll take it for the team. I will go there for the team. 100%.
That's
Go, go.
Take a bottle of JD and I'm all right. I'm fine. They can come and get me.
Oh, great, great.
Right. So I want to touch on now because I think we're covering quite a few bits here. But the Tic-tac, the recent Tic-tac stuff about Lockheed Martin, and also I seen something that you said and it really fascinated me. I'm sure it was you, where you said just one maneuver of this Tic-tac was enough energy to harness the. What was it? Enough energy to supply the planet or something?
It
Have I
wasn't
got
me.
that? Have I absolutely ruined that? But you can.
No, I'm the complete opposite, to be honest. All right, so all right, so as a private pilot, and asking the same questions, Matt and Mark, about Rendlesham is why, where was the Tic Tac seen? And the Tic Tac was seen in a MOA, military operation area off San Diego, where it's, if you look it up, it's like MOA 123. I can't remember the number.
I watched
And
this video. Brilliant video you did, by the way. I will put that in the description of this video. Fantastic. Everybody needs to watch that. It's brilliant.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just basic research that in that area you can test advanced military projects. Oh, really? Okay. And you can also do live fire exercise. The Nimitz was on a maneuver doing that. And anytime, and you can have multiple agencies working in the same area as long as they're all talking to somebody. And the one person who knows what actually happened is in San Diego, and he's not going to talk to me. But it's so that's the first piece of information. And then I was contacted by this young chap called Joshua Bertrand, who's very interested in advanced material science and technology researcher. And he thinks that the Tic Tac, the shape, the way that it probably was subsea launched, was very emblematic of a type of technology which he knows about, which was a DOE commissioned pseudo satellite high altitude buoyant device. It's not a balloon, people. It's not a balloon. It's a very sophisticated buoyant craft made of exotic material, which is used for long loitering DOE NRO surveillance, and it's submarine launched. So you sail it into the Gulf, put it up there over Gaza, and send the information up to space and then back to NRO, and they could easily be testing it, and he found they were testing it. So is it that? But the maneuvers that wonderful Commander Fravor saw and Alex Beatrizx saw don't really correspond to a buoyant craft, but there's something going on. That's.
I think you're right. I think you're spot on with what you're saying, and I think that makes sense with why, when they went to the final destination of the mission, these crafts were there as well, because they obviously had to know what these.
Who would know the CAP? So
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's something in the background. It was operating, but what I will say is they put pilots' lives in danger.
I think they did.
100%.
Do that all the time, though.
Yeah, but even more so with technology that they're not willing to bring out there that could change
definitely.
the planet. I've got a real big problem with that. I really have.
Joshua even thinks that Commander Fravor was specifically chosen as the best of the best. They didn't send some oik. The reason that he went, this is absolutely, Princeton and Nimitz would say this. The reason that they went, they were in an exercise. Princeton saw something. They'd been seeing them for weeks, and they got a firm lock on one. And they sent two F-18s to go and get. They need and San Diego, who's the controlling authority, weren't talking to them or weren't talking to the people at the level of the Nimitz anyway. And they buckered over with two F-18s. One, Alex stayed high. Commander Fravor went down towards it and he saw something. And Matt, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's potentially really dangerous if it was a UFO or if it was a 40-foot long. These are supposedly aeroloi, which is a spun evacuated light metal material. Which
So what I'm getting at is, say something happened there and he lost his life. Would that have been covered up?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's a crime, a huge crime. I think that these pilots are put in this position,
but
and
this
they're
is
made to
why
look
people
like
in the
idiots.
US want UFO disclosure. People like Tim Burchett. This is why they're pushing for it in the US because of this.
I think the US. I mean, I was talking to Chris Leto and people the other day, and I was saying, so you're in the Air Force and you see something down on the ocean, and it's not in your domain because you're Air Force.
Mm.
You just contact your contact in the Navy. And he went, no, we don't have a contact in the Navy. I mean, literally, it's alphabet effing soup over there. The DOE of doing a craft for the NRO in an MOA and not telling the US Navy or the US Air Force. I mean, it's just like, bleh. I'm sure it happens in Britain too, but you'd think some clever chap in Whitehall would put it all together. But I think genuinely in the USA, there's an awful lot of poor communication. Um, and what if Joshua's right? It's even worse because the people who were testing it were the U.S. Navy because it was a submarine launched craft. Come on, I mean, and you've always heard that the submarine service don't talk to the sea service. They're two separate services, although they're part of the Navy. You'd think somebody would have known, but somebody's not going to tell us, are they?
The UK is far worse than the United States. Like the US
Really?
acknowledge it a little bit. The UK don't acknowledge it at all. The government don't even want to. It's like, no, you're all nuts. You're all tinfoil hat bonkers. We're trying so hard. It's such a taboo topic in the UK. And we're trying to like bridge the gap and speak to people about this and stuff like that. It's nothing like the United States. Probably like 60-70% of the United States believe in UFOs. You say that in the UK and it's probably something totally different.
Here in France, where I live, it's a really open subject. You can literally go up to your police station, the gendarmerie up the road, and say, I saw something. And they go, oh, here's a form.
Wow.
And it's already categorized by what kind of colors, encounters you've had. And it's all filed and it's all public domain. And there's an interactive website where you can see all the sightings and they're classified with the category encounter type numbers, like the close encounter numbers.
Is that gay pan? Is that something different?
Yeah. And they're going, yeah, they're real. We just don't know what they are. And there's people looking at them. But it's not like, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, ever since the MOD are closed any public logging of it, they don't care, do they?
I've got to go in a minute, but I've got one piece of information that I think Matt knows this already, but Simon, I was contacted by a member of the senior intelligence community in the UK, and they've told me that the UFO program, the UFO desk, what was the Pope's job, is still going on. Basically now it's run by BAE up in Wharton in Lancashire, and also they've got a branch down in Surrey, and the same person's also told me they've got an active ration retrieval program that can be anywhere in the UK within 20 minutes. I mean, I find that a bit hard to believe, and that we have at least 3 recovered craft, apparently.
Oh, great.
So as I get more information, I'm hoping to interview this person, probably will be disguised.
Great.
So it's interesting, but it's interesting how it's farmed out. It's immune from freedom of information requests, and ministers can't.
Well, that's how they hide from freedom of information. CAE,
yeah.
Oh, good one, Mark. Yeah, that's great. I mean, obviously, Woodbridge at its day also was space recovery. I mean, the 57 helicopter, Green Giant helicopters there did cover Europe, North Atlantic for anything that falls out of space. So
Absolutely.
Woodbridge. Yeah. All right, Matt. Thank you for having me on. Maybe we could draw an end to this. I think we've covered.
Yeah. I've asked most of the questions. You've answered everything I think we need to cover. There was just one question.
We don't have any answers.
I'm trying to find the question to end it on. So let me just find that question, please.
Sure.
You've argued that media sensationalism undermines credibility sometimes. How do you see the relationship between hype cycles and scientific progress in the UAP research? So basically, does all the media buzz help people take this seriously, or does it make the topic seem more of a joke?
What do you think, Mark?
Don't speak to me. I'm always going a bit sensationalist.
Well, same me. I mean, I know. Yeah, Matt, and all 3 of us here, we were on social media. We're talking about the interesting subject. I think, and there is no conventional media, certainly my entire life was in broadcast television, and they wouldn't touch UFOs with a barge pole. And a lot of also interesting emergent science, that a non-peer reviewed science wouldn't be touched. So I think social media is doing a great job. I mean, I think we make mistakes, which is good, and I think we raise topics, and there's some amazing people working in the field. So, yeah, I mean, I think some of the kind of tabloid newspapers are hysterical, and I would say keep listening to Mark and Matt, and may occasionally listen to me if you want, if you're brave. But I mean, I think, and lots of other channels. I think there's nuggets of
You're a
truth.
celebrity now. You know that, don't you? You're a celebrity in the UFO field, whether you like it or not. Now you're a celebrity.
Everyone loves you, Simon. So
It's
we all
terrifying.
look up to you. We all.
Is he just say it's terrifying? You are a celebrity now in this field.
That's right.
And someone that I can't wait when you put on a video up. I love watching your videos and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I certainly don't pull punches. I mean, definitely we get things wrong, and I'm more than prepared to talk to anybody. And yeah, sure. And yeah, the UFO community though are quite a hard nut to crack, because I mean,
Let me edit that for you. Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. That is the hard nut to crack. The rest of these social medias are quite friendly. It's just X that has an issue with it.
right. Yeah,
Infiltration is on X.
Okay. Well, but I mean, the amount of kind of negativity I get from places like above top secret forums and things is untrue. And I think the basic issue is that the UFO community, the poster on their wall is I believe, and the poster on my wall is I want to see the fucking proof, you know. I don't believe in anything really, but I mean, I think they're out there. UAP are real. They're a global effing phenomenon. How many times do I have to say that? And you know, and we need to know what they are. And I can't wait to get really great evidence. And I think Rendlesham is the key. Nick Pope said, and he's absolutely right because he knows what actually happened. Nick, tell us, is that Nick's dad, tell us, you know, really, they know, understand Rendlesham and you understand UAP, because they know what actually was going on in Suffolk.
Mark, can we set that up? Nick, can we get Nick on?
I can ask him.
Sure, I could ask him.
We both know him quite well.
He's doing Ancient Aliens, you know, and sure.
He'll do it,
I mean, I put him on the spot once and said, Nick, you and your family know what happened at Rendlesham, and he went, I can't talk about it. I said, talk about why you can't talk about it, and he says, you know, and so it's interesting. Or maybe he doesn't know. I don't know. Who knows? But there's more to that case than meets the eye.
And I just remember the Thatcher quote. It wasn't UFOs, and you can't tell the people. That's what Thatcher told Georgina Bruni.
And that is so right. Yeah, it wasn't a UFO, and you can't tell the people, because if you go down that route of why, what was it, and it was, you know, suddenly it opens this whole amazing thing that was going on in 1980 in the Cold War in Britain and America, and selling stuff and money and Martlesham and Orford and Bawdsey. I mean, it's just like, and Sizewell. Yeah, Sizewell A. Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating place. And then you've got, you know, it's a UFO. Well, it might be, but there's other things going on.
Okay, thank you for this. So before we go, obviously, have you got anything you want to promote or anything? Have you got anything coming up that you want people to go and check out?
I'm definitely deep diving into the whole with some really great guests coming up on human consciousness and its connection to the quantum universe, because I think it might have a direct connection to the greater, weirder phenomenon. So certainly, if you are brave enough to watch my channel over the next few months, we'll be talking about consciousness, and I might also do a bit follow up with Beatriz on this story. Now that I've read her full reports, I wake up in the morning, people send me stuff, and I go, "Oh, that's a great story." But if I have one thing, I'm looking at consciousness.
And where is the best way? How's the best way to contact you? And what's your social media platforms?
You can meet me at the bar. No, don't come around. Yeah. YouTube pretty well only because I'm too old to do anything else. Although I have Facebook and Twitter or whatever it's called, but YouTube Professor Simon channel.
Okay, and if there is anything that you would like after this discussion for me to put in the description to help people with what we've spoke about, please email me tonight or tomorrow morning, as the video for this will be up about 6 p.m. UK time on YouTube tomorrow night.
Oh, it was an absolute honor and privilege. It's always nice to chat to Mark again and you, Matt. Yeah, great though. And I think between the three of us, we've had a good discussion on. We live in interesting times, people.
Let's just say it like this: we are three massive geeks that like to talk about UFOs and aliens. 100%. I am in that category.
Absolutely, yeah.
100%. We're all three massive geeks, and we love this topic.
We do.
Thank
And
you.
we love Simon, and thank you so much, Simon, for coming on. You are going to be the first big guest from the YouTube channel. Like I said, next up is Patrick Jackson, and I'm hoping that you'll take a look at that one when I show that, because I think the Sphere Network is something that potentially could be true with what we're finding out with Beatriz's work. I think that is something we should be talking about next. So thank you, Mark, for joining me. Thank you, Simon. If you need anything before I upload it, just let me know in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, and all go and watch Mark's film.
Yes.
As well. That's
When
great.
it's out, got a few problems with the distributor.
Oh, bloody hell.
The film industry is horrible.
Don't tell me. Yeah, I'm all right. Well, when
I'll let you know.
Thank you. Available, go and watch it. Yeah, good. All right, and keep watching Matt. So thank you all, and
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Simon.
Simon, before you go, are you on TikTok?
What's TikTok?
TikTok, the app TikTok.
No, I'll upload this video to TikTok as well.
I think Simon Holland needs to go onto TikTok.
Oh,
we could make him.
I would need a 16-year-old to hold my hand.
No. TikTok, you would love it on TikTok. We've got a really good community on there, and I think you would thrive on there.
It's far better than YouTube in my opinion.
It's not as toxic as any other app.
It's
And
better than
this,
X.
you will go viral. I promise you. In the next 24 hours on TikTok with this interview.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, well, TicTac people, if you can possibly be really old-fashioned, you can watch me on YouTube.
We should definitely rename it Tic-tac. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, people.
All right.
Bye.
It's all right. That'll do. Okay, I'm going.
Simon.
I'm going,
Thanks,
people.
Matt.
Thank you so much, Simon. I hope to speak to you again in the future. Mark, as always, it's a pleasure, and we'll try and get more people on. Good night. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one, people.
Bye.